Hi. So this is kind of impromptu, but I was just feeling like I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm going to share this with you guys. I just finished teaching this morning. I had my weekly fiery flow that I teach on Fridays, virtual. You can stream it every Friday at 7 a.m. And it just got me thinking, after I finished teaching this class, I wanted to share with you guys, why I love yoga. What is yoga? Why do I love it? Why do I teach it? Why am I so passionate about it? And really, this practice has changed my entire life. And if you had asked me 10 years ago if I thought I would be, traveling and teaching yoga to people, I'd probably laugh in your face. I'm not even kidding. I never liked yoga growing up. I always thought yoga was, I always thought yoga was too slow, right? I thought yoga was boring. I thought it was, just for those types of people, for the hippie crunchy people, people who I don't know. I don't know what I thought yoga was, but I just thought it was a waste of time. I was like, why would I waste my time in a yoga class when I could go out and be running or cycling or getting my heart rate up? It's why would I do this practice? And it wasn't until I had foot surgery when I was 21, and I had just come back from living in New Zealand, and I found myself back in Alabama. I didn't have a job. I was living at my parents' house, and I was in a really low place. And I had had this foot surgery. I couldn't work. I wasn't having an income, and I was at a music festival when I was on the upper slope of my recovery, and I woke up at this music festival, and I looked at the schedule for the day, and I saw that there was yoga happening in a tent. There was, one of the music and the arts tents, and I was like, you know what, that actually sounds really good. For the first time in my life, I chose to go to a yoga class because it was the only thing that I could really do. I couldn't run. I couldn't even dance that much. So I decided to go to yoga. And I just went by myself. I didn't tell anybody that I was going. I went with an open mind. And I stood in the back of the class, kind of in the grass. And I listened to the instructor. But the instructor was kind of far away. She was teaching on the stage, and so I could hear her voice, but I kind of wasn't up there with it. And for the first time in my entire life, I dropped into my body, and something clicked. I had this aha moment. I was like, oh my God, yes, I get it. And in that moment, I understood everything. I just knew that this was going to be my life's path. I was like, oh my God, I get it. This feels so good in my body. It feels so good to move and to stretch and to breathe. But the thing about yoga is that you have to know how to practice it to really get anything out of it. Because when I was younger in high school, when I was taking classes, I didn't really like them. I didn't really know what I was doing. So if you don't have a yoga practice and you go to a random yoga class and you don't resonate with that teacher, you might, have a bad experience of what yoga is, and you might never come to another yoga class. So it's all about finding somebody that you resonate with and allowing yourself to truly understand what that experience is like. But the reason that I love yoga so much is because after that music festival, I went back to my hometown, I signed up for my local studio, and I started practicing yoga, and I was loving it. I fell in love with the hot, sweaty vinyasa flow, and the reason why I kept going back to those classes is because I could drop out of my mind and into my body. Because this up here was so crazy for me for so freaking long that I needed something. I just needed my mind, I needed something hard enough that I could literally drop into my body and stop the hamster wheel of crazy thoughts that's going and going and going and going and going and going all the freaking time. And the only thing that would work for me was going to a really hard yoga class where I couldn't think about anything else. Because when your body is trying to hold itself into a shape, you literally drop into no mind. I was dropping into no mind. I was dropping into the flow. And I felt so damn good. Holy shit. I finished every class, and I was like, this is freaking amazing. And let me just add, if I may, that since developing my yoga practice, I've never been in better shape. in my entire life. I'm the strongest I've ever been. I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I feel freaking good every single day. And this practice has radically changed my life, like radically. And this is why I teach yoga. This is why I do what I do, because I want to help other people drop out of their minds and into their bodies, because this is crazy right now. You know, it can be. And these are really crazy times, tough times. People are anxious. People are stressed. Uncertainty is hard to deal with. So how do we deal with uncertainty in our lives? Life is always uncertain, right? It's full of ups and downs. It's full of twists and turns. So what do we do? How do we react when things get tough? And that's what this practice teaches us. It teaches us resiliency. It teaches us groundedness and rootedness in ourselves. And it gives us a sense of discipline and consistency in our lives. And I would not be the same person I am today without my yoga practice. It's just really changed my whole life. And this is why I teach. This is why I teach. And this is why I want to share this with you guys. I just had to share that. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in if you did. That's all I got to say. I feel like actually there was something else I was going to tell you guys. Oh yeah. Okay, so developing a morning routine obviously is a huge part of a yoga practice. So I have some exciting news. A very dear friend of mine, Carrie Burgess, and I are developing a workshop in Birmingham in a studio sometime in September. So imagine something like a 3-week series, 1 weekend or 1 week, 1 day per weekend, about 2 or 2.5 hours, either a Saturday or a Sunday in a studio. And it's going to be about how to develop your own morning routine. So where do we start when we don't really know what to do, right? How do we develop consistency? How do we wake up in the morning and want to do something? Like, how do we want to move our bodies in the morning? So this is what this workshop is going to be about, more or less. Yeah, it is awesome. It's so awesome. So yes, the details will be coming on that soon, so stay tuned. Wanted to share with you guys. Love you guys so much. Hey, Sam. Oh my gosh, Sam, I miss you. We need to catch up soon. Okay. See you later. Love you, bye. Love you guys. Have a great Friday.